So one of the most frequent questions I get asked literally on every single video I upload is, what game is that? What game are you playing? What's in the background? It seems like no matter what steps I take to prevent this, either like putting the game's name in the very beginning of the video, I've tried that in the past. I've tried putting it in the description, and right now I've been pinning a comment from me with the game actually listed there, but it still doesn't work. I get the same questions every single time, and it's really kind of annoying, honestly, having to answer the same question over and over again. But I try to do it, but of course I can't get to everybody. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to maybe just go through some of the different games that I've been putting in the background of my videos and just kind of put a spotlight on some smaller games out there from different indie developers that maybe went under your radar or something like that. I don't know. I've been really enjoying just playing a lot of smaller games recently versus like the big AAA games, and all of these games are fucking fantastic, by the way. So any of these 3 games I'm going to show off, I would highly recommend to anyone. So yeah, if you guys like this type of video and you'd like to see more of it, hit the like button, let me know in the comments, and let's go ahead and kick this off. Okay, so first up, let's talk about Valley, which is probably the game I've used the most for background footage recently, and it's definitely the game that I get the best response to. Like, whenever I use Valley gameplay, I get at least 100 questions asking me what game it is, and I probably get the same amount of people, too, who are, like, going, oh, wow, I'm glad you use Valley gameplay. I love that game. I'm glad you're spreading the word about it. And I love the game too. It's just such a relaxing experience to play. There really isn't much in terms of combat in the game other than maybe shooting like 3 bursts of energy at the occasional enemy. I think that's how much it takes to kill if I'm remembering right. But you don't really do a lot of combat in this game. It's mainly about the traversal aspect of the game where you're exploring this really beautiful and interesting valley, hence the name, but you get this exosuit which gives you the power over life and death over everything in the valley, which just so happens to be trees and deers, but still it's kind of cool because like you can suck the life out of a deer and it'll drop dead, and then you can shoot that same life force back into the deer and it'll pop back up and run away. So it's kind of cool. I thought that was a really awesome aspect they implemented into the game. Of course, the exosuit gives you super speed, you can jump really high, and you get this grappling hook later on, which allows you to vertically traverse the world. Basically, all you have to do in this game is just find your way through the valley in order to uncover what happened there, and you're searching for this object that has the power to control life and death, and you're just going through the different areas and you're uncovering what happened before you actually got there yourself. So I don't know, it was really interesting to me. The story's not the best, in all honesty. It's nothing like super in-depth or anything. It's just a cool premise that gives you a reason to be there and have this exosuit and play this really amazing experience. And also the campaign's not very long either, but I do think the game has a ton of replay value just because it's such a great gameplay experience. It's one of those games that I've played through several times at this point, and that's very rare for me. And overall, it's just a lot of fun to like go back and play a mission or two for like 30 to 40 minutes or something. And that's why I like using it for gameplay footage in the background, because I can just drop back in, play for like 20 or 30 minutes, get some solid footage, and I don't have the risk of dying in combat or spending too much time solving a puzzle or something like that. Plus, it's a very calm game, so it doesn't really distract too much from the other parts of the video, and overall, the response to this game being in my videos has been overwhelmingly positive, and plus it also helps that my laptop runs this game great and makes capturing gameplay very, very easy with shadow play. So this is definitely a game I recommend to anyone, whether you're on PC, Xbox One, or PS4. I own the game on all 3 platforms, and it's definitely worth adding to your library in my opinion. I originally pre-ordered this game actually on Xbox when I saw the first trailer because I thought it looked really interesting, and I recently picked it up on sale for both PS4 and for PC through Steam. I think Steam had it for like $4 during the summer sale, which was a fucking steal, I might add. So look for that game to go on sale if you can get it on Steam. Like $4 for this game, that is crazy good. So I forgot to mention this too. The soundtrack in this game, oh my god, it is great for an indie game. Like, there are times where I've kind of got lost in the music and stuff, and overall it's a great game to play with headphones. Like, it really sets the atmosphere at times. Like, some of the soundtracks are just okay, but there are some really, really good ones, which I thought was really awesome for a game of its size, coming from a smaller indie developer. So overall, I don't think you can go wrong picking up Valley. It's one of the best surprises I've had this entire generation, and I honestly couldn't recommend it enough. If you're looking to maybe get into YouTube and you're looking for background footage or a good game to use in the background, I think it's definitely that. But if you're looking for a just great gameplay experience, you can just kind of play from time to time and just have some fun with, I don't think you can go wrong either on PC or console. It definitely plays better on PC, but the console experience is good in my opinion too. So Valley is definitely a game you should check out. So the next game is Impulsion. Now this is a very interesting game, and a lot of people, including myself, have drawn a lot of parallels to Portal, especially given the fact that you have two guns, one shoots orange, one shoots blue, but instead of shooting different portals, you are shooting force fields, and the blue force field speeds you up, the orange one slows you down, and you use these to basically get through the 25 levels in the game, and this game is all about traversing these levels as fast as you possibly can. Unlike Portal, where it's more about like problem solving, setting things up, this game is all about reaction time and on-the-fly decision making, and that's what's so exciting about it. Like, it is a very exhilarating game to play, and overall, I think it's really addicting too. Like, it's one of those games where you'll keep dying constantly trying to clear really hard levels, and this game gets really hard. So you'll keep trying and dying and repeating, and when you finally clear that level you've been stuck on for a while, it is the greatest feeling in life. And once you actually complete that level, like, it is ingrained in your mind forever. Like, I could go back to any level I've cleared in the past, like probably 2 or 3 months later, and still be able to clear it on my first attempt just from like pure muscle memory at that point. But overall, it's a fantastic game. It's definitely on the more challenging side. The only problem is with using it for gameplay, and it's kind of why I've shied away from using it, is the fact that 99% of the time now, because I'm on harder levels at this point, is just me dying over and over again, and with the levels being only 1 to 2 minutes long, that just seems really repetitive and boring to me. So it's not really a great game to use for background gameplay unless you're like crazy good at the game and you can just speed run through the game in like 20 minutes, which is completely possible, but it's just not really that great for gameplay anymore. But it's still a fantastic game, and if you're a fan of this type of game, definitely check it out. I believe it is $12 on Steam, which is not exactly going to break the bank. For 12 bucks, it's definitely worth checking out. I actually heard about this game for the first time when I actually won it through a Twitter giveaway, which was actually kind of cool. So I got it for free and I checked it out, and I ended up really enjoying it, and not many people know about this game whatsoever. I tried to look up a walkthrough for a particular level I was stuck on, and I found nothing on YouTube in the form of gameplay for this game. So it is definitely a lesser known title, but it is a great game in my opinion, and overall a fantastic experience. So if you're interested, I'd say go for it. So the third and final game for today is a game by the name of Dead Cells, and it's probably a game that you're very familiar with if you follow gaming news. After that whole shitstorm surrounding that ass clown Philip, whatever his name was, who worked for IGN, he actually reviewed the game, but actually it turned out he plagiarized some YouTuber's review for it. Good old games journalism for you. But it worked out well for Dead Cells in the end, because they got a ton of free press. Like, the name of the game was everywhere, from Kotaku to GameSpot, and every single gaming related channel, except for me, because I thought it was overkill at that point. I mean, the dude copied a review. He didn't shoot up a school or something, so I don't know. I didn't think it was a big deal. I didn't really think it was worth commenting on, but Dead Cells got a lot of free press, and that's how I found out about the game, and I looked into it, and I'm really glad I did, because it's a fantastic game. Like, this is a very, very great platforming game. A lot of people refer to it as a Metroidvania game, which I have no idea what that means, since I never played any of the older Metroid or Castlevania games. But overall, the concept surrounding this game is incredible. You go through and you play through it several times, and every time you die, you have to start from the very first level. And that's kind of the cool thing about it, because no two playthroughs you have will ever be the same. Even though you're playing through the same areas, they change the layout every single time, so it always feels like you're exploring something new. They change what items drop, which weapons you can buy from the shops, and stuff like that. So no two playthroughs will ever be the same, but at the same time, as you keep going through and progressively dying, rinsing, and repeating, you're earning cells, which is basically like in Dark Souls, which you use to upgrade your character in order to make them stronger, and in order to eventually make it further through the game as you learn the different tactics on taking on different enemies and things like that. So overall, it's a very, very fun game. There's a lot going on in it. Do not let the art style fool you, because there is a ton of depth, even more so than most AAA games on the market. So This game has a lot going for it, and overall it has just pulled me in, and once I start playing it, it is very hard to put down. You just constantly want to keep going and trying to get just a little bit further than you got the last time. Maybe you learn something and taking down a certain type of enemy, it's like, yeah, this time I've got this, I can clear it. And at the same time, it's something new every single time you play it, which is why I'm really liking using this for background gameplay, and you're probably going to see a lot more in the future, because since every single time you restart the game each life, it's a completely different experience. So no two playthroughs look the same. So that's what's awesome about it, especially using it for gameplay. So I really like this game, and it was definitely a huge surprise. And it's the best 2D platformer I've played since Ori and the Blind Forest came out. But looking back on it, it's kind of funny to think about, because this whole shitstorm that Philip started by being a complete dumbass and plagiarizing his review is what drew my attention to this game in the first place. Like, I had seen the game before, I saw that it was getting really great reviews, but until that whole controversy came out, I didn't really look into it. It wasn't until after that where I started watching gameplay, and then I figured out, like, hey, I would actually probably really like this game. Maybe I'll pick it up and give it a try, and I'm kind of glad that that actually all unfolded, because it turns out I found a game that I really enjoy, and what other job is there for a games journalist other than to bring people's attention to a potentially great game they may enjoy? So I guess he was just doing his job at the end of the day, if you think about it that way. But anyway, if you're a fan of 2D platformers, if you're looking for something different or unique to play outside of that typical AAA release or something like that, this is definitely a game you should check out, and it's a great game to play from time to time. Like, you can just play it for an hour or two and just kind of progress, maybe grind for some cells every once in a while. And overall, I'm really enjoying this game. For 25 bucks, it's on Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And overall, I think it's a great value for that price. It's a little more expensive for being an indie game, but I think the amount of content you're getting here is more than justified when it comes to the asking price. So this is definitely something you should look into, and if you're interested, go for it. It is a fantastic game, and I don't think you'll regret it. But anyway, guys, that does it for this video. All the links to the games mentioned in this video will be in the description if you want to go and check them out for yourselves. Also, if you guys enjoyed this video and would be interested in seeing more like it in the future, hit the like button and comment down below to let me know if you would be interested in that, and I will definitely consider doing more like it in the future. Before I go, I just want to say a quick thank you to everybody for all the recent support. It has been absolutely incredible recently, and honestly, I just can't say thank you enough. Thank you to everybody who has ever watched one of my videos. Like, I appreciate it. And especially thank you to everyone who has decided to subscribe. You guys are awesome. And it just blows my mind to think about that thousands of people every single day take time out of their days in order to watch the videos I upload. That just is crazy to me, and it's hard to wrap my mind around. But honestly, thank you guys so much for all the support. And it does not go unnoticed, and I really do appreciate it. So with that said, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will catch you guys next time.